Hello everyone! Welcome to Tina Jackson and Mystical Empowerment, my little healing abode. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. I am going to do an introduction to this gem here, the Power Book. It's essentially Lynn V Andrews, and she has a whole bunch of other books that you can read that are really amazing about different shaman stuff and native things. She connected with a group in Manitoba, and then she created this power card deck. This is the outside of it. It looks like that. And then essentially says Lynn Andrews is the author of 18 books, including the New York Times bestseller Medicine Woman and Jaguar Woman, a pioneer teacher in the field of personal development and spirituality. She's the founder of Lynn Andrews Center for Sacred Arts and Training. So you can always connect with them and do training and stuff as well. Yeah, and I'm going to lead you through this beautiful deck. I love it. And it also says it helps build self-esteem, one of the most important components of personal power, by examining both your positive and your negative aspects, the pieces of your power and the personal puzzle that are present, and those that are missing. Each card features imaginary reflecting Mother Earth, or imagery, reflecting Mother Earth and Father Sky, with an affirmation that conveys lessons of power. And inside it comes this cute little paper thing. So I have had this guy for 20 years, and I'm really amazed that I haven't ripped it, because it's not very, you have to be very gentle, because it opens up, and then inside there is where all the cards are. I've already got it taken out. And we've got our beautiful cards right here. And it's got the different images and stuff that are on it. First off, I'm going to go through the book, and if you stay with me at the end, I will be doing a card reading for you. I had thought about doing it at the first, but they're all in order, so I didn't want to have to do that again. So, with the Power deck, essentially some of her books that she wrote: Medicine Woman, Flight of the Seventh Moon, Jaguar Woman, Star Woman, Crystal Woman, Wind Horse Woman, Teachings Around the Sacred Wheel, and The Woman of Weird. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but I know each of the books that I personally read of hers went deep. Each time I read one, it was like transformational and helped me level up to my own healing abilities, my inner intuition. It also had guidance to help build your energy field and connect with yourself to keep out the dark entities or lower energies. And she's got a lot of really amazing wisdom. And in here, the card paintings are by Rob Schutten. I think that's how you say it. And she says, for grandmother who taught me the timelessness of truth, and to Caitlin Duckworth for her tireless friendship and belief in the Power deck. That's the first little introduction. And then it's got your first little page of contents. And then I'm going to read to you the different stuff that she has at the beginning of this. It's really quite awesome, and I'll tell you a bit about the different decks. Well, about her deck specifically. The Power deck is set with 45 illustrated cards and accompanies this short book. Variations of the Power deck have been used throughout history by teachers seeking to empower their apprentices with higher consciousness. The mystery schools, the Sisterhood of the Shields, magicians, and European shamans have all used their own secret form of the Power deck for centuries. I understand from my teachings that cards are shifted and changed depending on one's time of life and learning that is needed. For myself, I use various different decks, but I was really drawn to all of her stuff. So I was very excited when I got to get it, because for a while you couldn't get them, and then they started printing them again. So happy dance. There's about 5 of us who all got the card deck at the same time. So, and yeah, I'm surprised it's doing pretty good shape, because I have a whole container of cards that I use for my clients. So these cards are for divining your truth and power in a way differing from using a tarot deck. Using the power deck builds self-esteem. One of the most important components of power, by examining both the positive and the negative aspects of yourself, the pieces of your power and the personal puzzle that are present, and those that are missing. She wrote about her first experiences with these cards of wisdom. And then she writes, in my book of Woman of Weird, it's WYRRD. It was explained to me by the woman in the Sisterhood of the Shields that the cards were originally used to impart knowledge and teachings about the Tree of Life. The Tree of Life teaches about the evolution of the spirit. The cards illuminate the sacred flow and systems of power in life. They help people to reach inside themselves to find their inner truth. The faces of these cards, the beautiful paintings, represents your physical body. The messages on the other side of each of the cards represents the truth of your spirit. Within the teachings of the Tree of Life, ultimately body and spirit are one. The cards, like the Tree of Life, mediate between the life force of Mother Earth and that of all life forms. She says, I first encountered the Power Book in my work with grandmother in the 16th century England. And for that, you can see more info on the book, The Woman of Word, for full description on what all happened there. And ironically, that's one of the ones I haven't read yet. I'm going to have to add that to my list. I started reading her stuff probably 25 years ago now. And yeah, it's very, very, very awesome stuff. And so the grandmother always stressed to me the importance of seeing that truth is always the same. Simply, truth is what is. And it remains the same throughout the ages, no matter in what time or place you live. What does matter, she told me, is that you become enlightened. Ooh. She wrote, grandmother reached into her pocket and withdrew a lovely carved box, which contained a deck of cards given to her many years ago by her teacher. Grandmother called it simply the Power Deck. These cards are a way of finding the source of truth within oneself, she said. Grandmother then placed the box in front of me and nodded. I opened the box slowly, and as I expected something to jump out at me, the inside was lined with red velvet, and the cards were made from thinly pressed wood or leather. Inlaid on one side of the cards were beautiful pictures, and grandmother instructed me to shuffle the cards gently while thinking of a question I would like answered. It was then to fan out the cards in front of me, picture side up, and hold my palms slightly above them. Pick the card that calls to you and then read the answer to your question. Grandmother said, but first, remember that in this teaching, the cards represent the outer body, and the message represents the truth of spirit. It is the same with the Tree of Life. The cards teach that ultimately your spirit and body are one. As I held my palm over the cards, I felt uncanny heat radiating from them. Then one card with beautiful flowers on it came to my attention. I picked it up and turned it over. The message was, in death is the secret to life. The message so directly answered my question that I was astonished. I told grandmother that my question had been, what is the secret to a happy life? Wonder what card she got, hey? I think it's kind of doing the things that you love. I'm very blessed and honored that I get to do so many things that I love with all the different people that I love. And then it says, see, the power deck never lies. Grandmother told me, she explained that each time we study and use the power deck, we create light, like the sparks from a fire. These sparks revitalize the life force that has been given to us by the land, so that we may live. I must tell you that the source of all power is hidden in our mother, the land. To live, we must partake of our mother's body. To engage in sacred study completes the circle. Studying or using the cards of wisdom, learning more of truth gives off light. The beings of the earth live in a give and take, a flow of light that becomes the life force and then becomes love. It is law. I like that. It sounds so peaceful and awesome. Exercising sacred wisdom in your everyday life literally creates the light that revitalizes the earth's life force. We owe a great debt to the earth and the animal kingdoms. Shamans and magicians have used the power deck throughout the ages to give to nature, to replenish the power that it gives us. This life force energy is and becomes light, and finally eternal love. I send you and the spirit on your path of heart and personal power. Lynn V Andrews. Now the introduction to the power deck. Please read this introduction completely before you begin. If you could perform one act of power, what would change your life forever? What would it be? Most of us do not know. We have lost touch with our own dreams, with that part of ourselves and that which helps us to manifest our true destiny in life. The power deck helps you to find that act of power that will change your life. By using the cards every day, you will strengthen your ability to feel true harmony within yourself. Then you will manifest that harmony in the world. It is this harmony that will heal our great mother, the great Mother Earth. For when we're in harmony in here, our outside also becomes harmonious. So then when we heal and harmonize ourselves, we can also help Mother Earth to heal, which is pretty awesome. The power deck is simple and concise, but it is full of ancient wisdom that will bring you back to the true center, that place of power within you that needs to be heard and expressed in your life. We often blame others for our lack of power, but no one can give us true power. We must take our power back. So many of us today have sold out our power in one way or another by choosing relationships or jobs that mean much less than what we have dreamed of. Perhaps as a child, you wanted to make a mark in life, to change the world, and to be a great actress or politician. Sorry. At this point in time, those both seem... Anyway, I won't get into that. But you sold your dream for a job that pays the bills, and you are doing much less than what you have hoped you could or would accomplish in your life. Or perhaps you did fulfill your dreams but sold out through your body by not taking care of yourself. Which I would agree with her. It's very important for us to take care of our internal self as well as our emotional self and physical self. She says, maybe you are so busy that you don't get the chance to exercise like you need to, or you have let your body go. In either case, selling out your dreams or your physical reality, you may have become much less than you know that you could be. Which is what she was talking about, taking your power back. The power deck helps you to go to the source of your dis-ease. It helps you to find the primal source of your pain or your limitation, so that when you're using it, it can be healed. Pick a card each morning and place it on your altar of empowerment. Remove the altar from the power deck package and let it stand in some important place in your home or your office, some place where the beautiful paintings can be enjoyed. When you look at it, you will remember your card and all of its meaning, and you will stop for a moment to move into that silent place within you, that place where truth is born. Take a moment to relax and contemplate the words of the card and the images that go beyond words, that lead you to a more profound meaning. Remember that each card promotes beauty, health, strength, and wisdom. This will emanate through in your life, enabling you to manifest harmony on our planet so that you can become a part of the nature and the beauty that is all around you. And then how to use the power deck specifically for what she designed it for. She says, the power deck can be used as a game of life or as a way to pray or meditate on your inner truth and inner power. Remember that the deck was originally an ancient oracle designed to inspire you and support the power that is within you, but perhaps has not yet given life. The deck contains 45 cards, 44 of which represent the number of women in the sisterhood of the shields. The 45th card is your self card and represents the essence of you. To use the power deck as a game, spread the cards in front of you, fanning them out or scrambling them up with your hands. Always have the picture side up and your eyes closed. Then pick up the cards again and hold them. Focus your thought on a question or an aspect of your life that you need to have clarified. So as you're holding them and they're all fanned out, essentially it's kind of like this. Fan them all out. And then I would have them facing me, because you want the pictures facing you. And as the pictures are facing you, you would have your eyes closed so that you can't actually pick via which one looks better or which one you like better. You're actually picking on which one you feel. And then as you go through the fanned ones, then you pick out a card that feels most strongest for you for today. Essentially, the card that I drew today is Gathering. Excuse me, I was drinking my smoothie before. Number 26. No, there we go. Easy to put it back in. That's the picture. I'll go through that again later, because I'm going to go through and tell you all of the different cards. But essentially this one is for the group. This life is like the fulcrum of a scale of balance. Your past and future lives determine the need for gathering strength in this life. There is a reason for all your pain. As you gather knowledge from the infinite sea of consciousness and life experience, you begin to evolve. You fill the gourd of your spirit with knowledge so that one day it can be emptied and you may begin to gather wisdom, become one with all life, and consider the true importance of what you are gathering. Oh. Go. So then she says, follow your breath in and out until you feel yourself settled within your inner peace of power, your shaman center. I would also call it your inner core. An inch or so below your navel is where you want to focus. This is your point of balance and equilibrium, the place where power lives in your body. Visualize strength and power radiating out from this position. Lay down the cards and rub your hands together until they tingle. Blow your breath of spirit over your palms and begin. I guess I missed that step. Essentially, she wants you to go like this. And then fan them out, and then pick a card. I am very highly sensitive and intuitive, so energetically I'm kind of already connected, but this is a way of making you be able to go deeper. Shuffle the cards, keeping your eyes closed, and when you're ready, fan them out in front of you on the table. Rub your palms together again. Hold them an inch or two above the cards, scanning for one that calls to you, one that is warm. Pick the card that you want for the day, or begin on the construct of your sacred self wheel. In playing the game of the power deck, you will pull 6 cards to place around your sacred self wheel. A card for each of the 4 directions: north, south, east, and west. A self card and a task card. Traditionally, the 4 directions represent different aspects of oneself or one's growth in the process of enlightenment. The first card you choose is for the south, which represents trust and innocence. It is the place of the inner child and the position of your physical being. When you pick a card for the south, think about that place within you that is filled with trust and innocence, where your inner child lives. Also think about how your physical body and accomplishments relate to the message. After you have pulled that card, place it picture side up at the bottom in the south of your sacred self wheel. I'll show you a picture of it in a minute. Which could be simply an imaginary circle in front of you on the table. Now close your eyes and scramble the cards again, thinking about the direction of the west. The west symbolizes the sacred dream, death, and rebirth, and transformation. It is the place within you where your adolescent self lives and where your emotions live. When picking a card for the west, think about transformation from one life experience to another and how you feel about it. Think about your process of evolving. Think about the rites of passage of your adolescent child within, moving sunwise around your wheel, placing this card in the west. Now this is a picture of the sacred wheel. It's got it all written down in there. And of course, when you buy her card deck, then you get the book with it, and you have all of the instructions in there as well. Think about your process of evolving. Oh, I read that part about already. Again, close your eyes and scramble the cards. Rub your palms together until they feel hot. Then hold them over the cards until you feel that one calls to you. Pick a card for the north, for strength and wisdom, for the place within you where your adult self lives. This is also the place of spirit and prayer. Place that card in the north of your wheel. Once more, close your eyes and shuffle the cards, then rub your palms together until they become hot and sensitized. Hold your palms over the cards and pick the one that calls to you, and this time for the position of the east. On the right-hand side of the sacred wheel, this is the place of illumination, of creativity, and of the mind. The place of mental powers, often wisdom. It is the place where the grandparent or old wise one lives within. It is also the place of the sacred clown, the one within you who tests your existing belief structures to see if they are valid. I like the sound of that one. With eyes closed again, scramble the cards, rub your palms together, and choose the card for the self. This is the wild card. Because you can be as you are or become whoever you want to be. The Self card represents the essence of you and the essence of your dilemma. Within the center of the sacred self wheel, it is the area that you likely need to work on the most to balance and mediate the powers of your other directions. So it's basically that card that you pull will give you balance for all the other cards that you pulled for the other directions. It says, now draw one last card and ask yourself for another aspect of power that you need to work on, a task. Ask what aspect is missing on your path of power. Place this card below the Self card. In the configuration of the cards, the upper cross, southwest, north, and east forms the branches of the tree of life. This tree of life within the sacred wheel. The Self card represents the trunk of the tree, and the task card represents the roots. The roots of the tree seeking nourishment and wisdom from Mother Earth. Before turning the cards over, look at the faces of Mother Earth that you have chosen. Meditate on the aspects of sacredness and beauty that the paintings represent and how they all fit together. To heal Mother Earth, you must first heal yourself. Then, beginning with the Self card and moving around the wheel, proceed to turn over the cards of the 4 directions. Meditate on the balance that is created by the messages on the cards and consider what you need to work on most. Next, reveal the Self card, contemplate the teachings, and see how it mediates among all of the other positions on the wheel. When the information is secure in your mind and your heart, turn over the Task card, which will tell you what you need to work on the most at the moment. Use the sacred self wheel as a symbol for your personal expression in life. For instance, you may find in your soul searching that you live predominantly in one direction or another. You will determine this by noting the color of the border on the message side of the cards. South is red, west is black, north is white, east is yellow. It's got the borders on there. And then at the bottom, it says east and yellow. And there. It says, if you have many cards in one direction, you need to balance yourself with work in the opposite direction. If you have more than one card in the south, which represents physicality, you need to balance your physical activities with spirituality of the north. If you spend more time living in the west in your emotions, which I definitely live in my emotions for sure, strive to balance your emotions with rational work in the east, the direction that represents the mind. I'm just thinking my mind is usually where the emotions are. Interesting. So it is important for you to bring mind and spirit into your physical and emotional life. When you are finished, pick the one card of the 6 on your sacred self wheel that you need to think about, and place it on your altar to take it with you for the day. When they're talking about an altar, it's a sacred space that you kind of set up, that you put your specific things onto to connect to energize, to amplify. It's like your little connection energy zone. Always gather the cards together carefully, say a prayer of thankfulness for understanding that has been revealed to you, and put away your power deck. She keeps her cards wrapped in a red natural material that protects them, which I was thinking when I started I should get a velvet bag to put the cards in instead of this paper. So she says that she keeps her cards wrapped up in a red natural material to protect them. I already said that. Keeping a power deck journal is very helpful as you walk your path of heart. Over the years of experience, you will find that the teachings of the power deck will grow and deepen as you evolve and take your power in life. as you take your power in life, is what she's meaning. Now she's got an exercise on working with fear, which is very, very helpful and beneficial to pretty much everyone. Fear probably inhibits some part of your inner expression of power. Therefore, your ability to manifest balance and harmony in your life is also limited. Manifesting your true destiny means that you have connected with your true integrity and power. To help define your fear, try this exercise. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Follow your breath in and out for a minute. In and out up to a minute. Then after the minute, remember that your breath is part of your life force. Take the power deck and begin to rearrange the cards, not looking at them. Be conscious of tightness in your stomach and some other areas in your body where you feel uneasy. Rub your palms together until you feel that tingly, and then blow your breath across them. Now fan out the cards on a flat surface and hold your palms about an inch above them. After you've done that, you will feel the heat from the deck connecting with your hands. With your left hand, choose the card that feels the warmest. Meditate on the picture that you drew and then read the message on the other side. For example, the card might read impeccability. Read the paragraph thinking about what fear might live within you that makes it difficult for you to be impeccable warrior of power. Return your thoughts to the part of your body that felt tense or uneasy. Explore the aspect of fear that is hidden there so you can then release the fear. The power deck will help you to experience your center of silence and power and help you to live there daily. So this is really a deck that you can use daily, and then it'll help you go through all of these things, which I think I might have to start to do. It was one that I just drew randomly. I have done this guy, the Sacred Wheel. I have done this one in the past. I'll have to do it again because it's been quite a while. And then she's talking about the Power Deck Journal. These are all the things to, when you pull a card, to question for yourself. So she's saying it's very helpful to keep a journal as you work with the Power Deck. Each day's entry should be answered with the following. Number 1, my card for the day is. Number 2, the message made me realize my need to. Number 3, what I need to work on most is. Number 4, I am out of balance in the area of. Number 5, I need more clarity about whatever came up. Number 6, my lesson of power today is. Number 7, my fear today is. So that would actually go deep into the different areas. Instead of just the one message, you're actually going in pretty deep inside. She says, now add any other notes that you feel are appropriate to your day's lesson. Over time, these journal entries will help you see your patterns more clearly, which will enable you to work on the areas of greatest difficulty. And for what she was talking about before, but where you feel it in your body, that might be something good to add to your journal, because then if there's a repetitive spot that you're feeling stuck things in, then you'll know that, hey, that's the area that I should be paying and giving more extra attention to. And other forms of healing would be sound therapy or color therapy or any of the other additional healing therapies. And then she has a beautiful prayer for daily empowerment. It says, a daily affirmation for your path of power. I am a new warrior of spirit. I exist in a world of sacred balance. I balance with one foot in the physical world of material substance and one foot in the dimensions of spirit and sacred life. My course is set by my ally, the winds of time. Mother Earth gives me life force, the lifeblood of my sacred body. The plants give me nourishment and healing. As I ride the wind horse of my intent, my sacred warriors transport to buoyant joy, into a new and unknown world of harmony. I am truly a new warrior, an androgynous spirit being of light. My weapons are the shields of awareness, the symbols of ancient truth and the sacred giveaway. Like the angels that surround me, few see me for who I truly am. I do commerce in the world. I raise my family. I live a life dedicated to freedom. I immerse myself in the physical world so that one day I can give it up. Because I can give it up only something that I truly have. People learn from me through example because of the integrity of my own life and spirit. I move into the world with confidence and wisdom. I am always open and learning tools of knowledge. And I share these tools with my sisters and my brothers. I am a warrior of the light, and I live the integrity of the truth with great care. And from a center within myself that is pure goodness, the embodiment of the peaceful soul, I walk with confidence, the part of heart and personal power toy. That's pretty awesome. I just need a sip of water. Here we go. And now on to the cards. So the first one, the self card, says it's unknown, which I think I use the cute little bell. I was going to use the cute little bell to prop them up, but that's not going to work because it's not tall enough. Yes, we could stack a couple more card decks. There we go. I don't know if that's going to stay there. Technical difficulties. Haha. Ta-da! Okay, so for this picture here, it says, "We are all pilgrims on the path to the unknown. We sit in awe and wonder at the architecture of power. Ripen the receptive void within you. Like a womb accepting a seed, open yourself to the unknowable of what is unfamiliar to you, so that the energy of what you need in order to be whole can flow into you. When you think of yourself as an entity separate from power, you will obstruct the current and power will defeat you. Identify the form of power that you want, what you want to accomplish, build, create, or be, and become that so that there is no separating of you." The definition of the card. The painting is entitled "Behold the Dream." The self card represents the essence of who you are as a person. It is a wild card because it can become anything that you wish it to be, just as the self can become anything that you can dream. Hence, here the pilgrim on the journey towards knowledge is sitting in front of the Great Pyramids, meditating on higher consciousness. The pyramids come from an unknown source of power because this source is unknown. A great power is retained within the structure. Power is born from the unknown. Wholeness is represented by the spheres. This is the symbol of the natural human looking out into the universe of power and the mystery of the unknown. So on the back, center card of the sacred wheel. On to card number 2. That one goes up like that. Balance. The structure of your daily spiritual life must be built on a strong foundation in the physical world with a pillar of selected shaman stones balanced carefully one on another. Take care of your body through diet and exercise. Express your strength in acts of power and bring greater awareness to the exchange of money. Protect and nourish your family and express your integrity by bringing balance into the society and nature. Then you will be prepared in the physical and the higher spiritual learning. Your being is like a spirit lodge, the foundation of which is rooted in the physical manifestation, strong against the storms, along with the trail of higher consciousness. To take power, make your spirit available. Take your power and bring your physical and spiritual natures into balance. So as I go through these cards, what I would suggest is pay attention to which ones you're feeling most drawn to. This one is a self-read card. The definition of the card. The painting is called Shaman's Vision. It is about balance with the shaman standing in the center of his world. Choreographing the energies of his universe, he is rooted in balance and harmony with the sphere of the universe and higher knowledge coming into him. Behind him is his village, well cared for with integrity and harmony. The eagle of higher spirit, who takes the messages of humans to the Great Spirit, flies over him. And a herd of well-fed caribou grazes in peace in the meadow. The painting shows the universe in balance. Oh, knocked it over. Sorry, folks. I was thinking my music got louder, and I should turn it down a little. There we go. That was going through my head was, I wonder if the music's drowning it out. And that's the picture. Balance is a south card because it shows that you need to balance your endeavors in the physical world and the spirit of the north. To take power in the world, you must be in perfect balance, realize the divine nature in humans and all living things. And then now I'm basically going to go through the cards. I wanted to read a couple. Maybe I'll read one more to you so that you kind of got a little bit of a gist on the way that she explains things, how they feel, how they sound, how she words stuff. These ones are self-read. This one is commitment. I really like this card. It's also self-read. Maybe I'll read a couple from each direction. So you need commitment to focus on your target. Take aim, pull back the bow, and then shoot your arrow, knowing that you will hit the bullseye with every shot. To hit the bullseye requires total commitment of your spiritual and physical being. You need only the commitment to walk down the path towards your gateway into your true destiny. It is a process of gathering. You gather your emotions, your mental strength, and your abilities as you would gather sheep. It can be a long process, but your commitment gives you endurance. It is the next step about defining your active power, materialize your dreams, and begin to live them, building that magnificent dream lodge within you with total commitment. It says the definition of the card. The painting is entitled Threshold of the Heavens. I like the beautiful arch. It symbolizes our commitment along the path of enlightenment, from one space or level of consciousness to another. This painting shows a moon gateway looking into the garden of higher consciousness and the sphere of universal consciousness within. Another self-read card. That one's so pretty. This one, the offering. Another self-read card. Every day our lives, we take from Mother Earth our energy for life. We forget the ancient traditions of the sacred giveaway. Take a moment to sit in silence and count the magnificent things that you have in this life. Even if only the wondrous of being given life. Reflect on the great Mother, Mother Earth. Ask yourself, what have I given back to her lately to help her heal? Think of the higher versions of life and the balance on this earth, and realize that the greatest gift you can give this earth and your fellow humans is your own enlightenment. In this way, you tear away the veils of ignorance and present the magnificence of your being to everyone who experiences you. Everyone around you is lifted and inspired, and this is your offering. Definition of the card. The painting is entitled Oblation. It depicts a thanksgiving tie placed on an elm tree. The wind takes the prayer to the Great Spirit. The sphere of totality stands in the place of nourishment, a fountain that is given from Mother Earth. The truth of Mother Earth is reflected into the boundless space of eternal life. Offering is the south as a teaching of the physical giveaway to spirit. That one's so beautiful. Love that message. Another self-read card. This one is The Quickening. Painting is entitled The Search Party. Another self-read card. This one is Flow. Another self-read card. Essentially, with the flow, the flower of your being begins to bloom when you move with the flow of life. This is the process of letting go, of moving your consciousness out of your mind and into your body, which is an inch or two below your navel. Feel the receptivity as you become still. Watch the river flow as if you were a mountain high above. Be serene, at ease, and totally within your power. Then let the waterfall of life work with you as you become like a twig carried on the surface of the rushing water. Become one with the river, dissolving the sense of mind and living totally in your instinctual nature. Let go and relax into the eternal flow. Definition of this card, the painting is entitled Flower and Song. Follow the river flow. As in life, it is easy to float downstream with the driftwood, but very strenuous to paddle upstream against the current. Because this is the South card, it teaches you about your physical self and about letting go, physically as well as mentally. To go into the flow of energy in the universe, move into the instinctual side of your nature. The universe of stars and planets at the bottom of the waterfall indicate the universe of your most inner self. You know, waterfall is probably supposed to be like that. Haha! There we go. It is through this life on earth, represented by the mountain and the waterfall, that you can move into the eternity of enlightenment and sacred flow. I love the waterfalls. Fun fact, they put out negative ions so that when you go to the bottom of them or around them, they naturally help heal your body, charge your body, clear your body, energize your body. This is another self card. This guy here, Trust. This one is entitled Time Has Come. It talks about trust. Another South red card for number 7. Number 8, Nurturing. We'll flip it to its proper direction. Looks so pretty. Essentially, we are the only ones who can heal ourselves, sometimes with assistance, sometimes without. Our energy or chakra system corresponds to the energy flow from the earth. If you listen and feel, the earth will heal you as you heal her. With the nurturing force of timeless give and take, prayer enables you to take power out of the mind and place it in the hands of the deities of the earth and the sky. Try to see through the mirage of the social barriers that cloud the eyes of women and men the world over. Nurture your dreams, act in your dreams. As you want to act, find the guard kivas and sacred places where you have hidden your heart and nurture your spirit. This is also a South red card. Which, I guess we'll put it back here. It says the definition of this card is entitled Morning Star. The chakra system, or the energy system within a human being, is symbolized by the flowers moving from the bottom of this painting to the top. The hands show that there is life in the mountains and in all things. The lotus is the lotus of life with the universe breath, and the fairy playing with the flute symbolizes the vibratory sound of the universe and its importance on the path towards enlightenment. The fairies bringing up the sounds of the universe into the chakra system of the human. Nurturing is in the south because it entails the life-giving force of Mother Earth. This energy is being brought up into human beings to enable us to have a complete circle of creative life flow moving through us at all times. Like that one. This one here, pretty crane. Gotta love those cranes. This is another South red, titled Innocence. The painting is entitled Vision Quest. We are all pilgrims journeying towards higher knowledge. The boats in this painting are the transports to the islands of the unconsciousness. They return and bring messages to your conscious mind. The heron symbolizes the innocence of our being, and the spheres represents its wholeness. Have the courage and the innocence to move towards the mountains and fly off to the higher consciousness that is waiting for you there. Innocence is a self-teaching because it is like the child within you. Look out at the world with childlike innocence. Try not to doubt what you see and what you imagine to be real. The next card. Skill, number 10. Expressing your highest nature through your work is sometimes easier when work is not exactly as you wish it to be. There are hidden gifts within friction. Therein lies the secret way to a graceful life. You are not what you do. Your work is a higher mirror provided a reflection from which to learn in your evolutionary process. Then work becomes a higher skill and you become a fine-tuned, not only your physical self, but your spirit. A Zen garden expresses the essence of life, and the highly perfected skill come to your inner truth that protects true skill. Definition of this card, all is one. She's saying that skill is a self card because it has to do with your physicality in the world and tuning yourself to your highest degree of accomplishment. As in all things, there's a lower skill and a higher skill. The lower skill is the ability to do something without spirit, simply doing a job. The higher skill requires finesse. It requires the perfected balance of your totality of physicality and spirit. Then true skill is born. It is the paintings of a monk, a shaman symbol of spiritual activity, is reflecting on the Zen garden where the stones represent different aspects of life and endeavor. In the center of the sphere of higher knowledge of the self-understanding of the inner world, which leads you to the higher levels of accomplishment in the outer world of true skill. I wasn't planning on reading so many, but it feels like I was meant to, so I'm doing with whatever guidance comes. So it reminds me of Stonehenge. I'm not sure if that was what it actually is, but it reminds me of it. Number 11. Get the reflection out of there. This one is truth. Are you living your truth? Ooh. Your being is like a spirit lodge within this sacred space. This place is your realization and the divine light of your creation. Live in your spirit lodge, surrounded yourself by peace and joy. Outside your lodge is the great wilderness where the rest of the world lives. That wilderness can become a battleground stained with blood or ignorance or earthly pain. To have lasting power in the world, you must earn the trust of those around you. Most of the people live without a sacred place within. It just seems weird to me. But I guess if you're not paying attention to your inner self, then you'll probably miss out on lots of stuff. So I'd say this is a pretty good card. Back to what she wrote here. Within a spirit lodge, I'll just start at the beginning. Most people live without a sacred place within, without a spirit lodge, and they do not know how to enter the spirit lodge of others. Live within your sacred truth. Definition of this card, Touchstones of Eternity. The painting is entitled that, Touchstones of Eternity. It depicts a sacred place in which to stay in touch with the universe and the universality of mind and spirit. This is the ancient Celtic shrine built in the sanctuary and a place to divine one's inner truth. The sphere of the universe represents the universal mind as brought down to earth by the antenna of the giant stone monoliths to give balance to our earthly consciousness, to help us find the truth of our own being. Truth brought to us through the stones is a self-teaching. Number 11, truth card. Just need some water. So I hope you guys love these cards as much as I do. They're just unique, they're powerful, they're very connected, and they go to the core of stuff. And from everything that I previously told you, they have lots of inner meaning. Down we go again. There we go. Put these back in order. Go. Stop bumping my table. Might help, hey? And that one was number 11 that we just finished, so we're on number 12. This one is called Virtue. And this painting is entitled Call from the Beyond. An altar of sacredness, a sanctuary, is created in any place in the wilderness where higher thought is gathered. The monarch butterfly symbolizes the transformation of higher consciousness. The Buddha symbolizes the shaman spirit in reflection and meditation. The deer, in virtue and innocence, are drawn cautiously towards the spirit being. The abalone shell symbolizes the aura of light around the sacred space and being. The deer spirits imply innocence, caution, and beauty in the walk towards your own virtue. Virtue is a self-teaching because it requires an understanding of your physical desires. Virtue is one of the passive qualities of power. When you pull back the bow, preparing to set the arrow and to find your target, you use the strength and will and focus that you have collected within the part of yourself called virtue. Virtue is where you find inner truth. It is a place of illumination, and as that radiance grows within you, it will become integrity. Without virtue, there is no inner balance. Virtue comes from the unknown, quiet things that you do for the world and other people. With each act, your spirit shield becomes stronger and more beautiful with the symbols of your inner life. Like the deer, they are quiet symbols. Virtue marks your path on the other side, like the one who walks last. The virtuous person is in a position of power. Power often comes quietly. Walk in beauty and virtue. And that was the last one for the south. We're into the west. Into the west country. This guy here. I think that's the way it goes. Nope. It goes like that. I had it upside down. Ooh, it looks like goddess trees. I was thinking the moon was up in the sky. And then the top of the trees was grass. It's so funny how you can have a picture that looks two ways. All in perspective. Hey, folks. My music. There we go. Turned it back on. This beautiful picture. Number 13, the feminine. The world is bereft of feminine consciousness. To bring Mother Earth back into balance, we must bring back our awareness of her. Language is a barrier between us, but woman has always communed with woman in an unspoken language. Her roots are entwined with the essence of Mother Earth, for she too is feminine. Woman is the keeper of the planet and must let her energy be rerouted by the male systems within woman or man. We are all in need of our world harmony. Mother Earth has been misunderstood, but she is the universe. She is the womb for all that lives. Feminine consciousness is the energy that embodies the wisdom you need at this moment. This painting is entitled In the Garden of Eve. It is in the direction of the west through the transformation of an overbalance of male energies that we will reinstate the harmony and balance of the earth. The feminine consciousness in perfect balance on earth and in perfect balance with male consciousness. The painting represents the feminine spirit as exemplified by the trees of woman, trees in a grove of sisterhood, of woman in communication. This grove of female trees shows its connectedness and harmony with the universal consciousness within the earth below. The butterflies represent the chakra system of energy throughout the human being, which relates to universal energies that are born from sacred space and provide a growing evolution towards light. Very majestic. And that's West Black. There we go. Imagination for this one. This painting is titled The Path. Exploring the wilderness of your own soul through contemplation brings you to the altar of your imagination. To have a circle of imagination in your being, walk with the untamed, wild, instinctual side of your nature all the time, knowing its power. Like a woman aware of her own pregnancy and yet moving through the rounds of daily tasks, you need to focus on the unborn life, for it is nature to continue to grow. Remember always that inspiration often comes after reflection and after the seed of the creativity is planted. When you actually begin your creative work, the energy of the universe comes to you and imagination flows. Definition of the card was the path. As I told you, in the painting there's a path through the forest. The benefit of the path you see is a cave-like opening representing the gateway to the west, into the universe spirit or unconsciousness. The sky is filled with soft white clouds, which represent your dreams in life and in the sacred dreams of the Great Spirit within each of us. Excuse me, cough coming. I'll do some more water. Says, know that what you imagine is real. In this pragmatic life, we forget the importance of imagination. Imagination and visualization can be at the root of your successful ceremony called life. Power is often created through the ability to use the imagination in a pragmatic way. The painting is about primal passion, the origins of our instinctual nature. Beneath our seemingly simple reality is a whole other world that can be reached only through our imagination. Also West Black. The sky goes like that. Beautiful transformation. Haha. The power of your intent leads you around the sacred wheel of endeavor. Begin today with trust and innocence. In the early hours, imagine a quiet pond and see the reflection of your true self. At noon, take a moment to close your eyes and dream. Imagine the transformation that this day offers you. Seek the strength and wisdom through your ability to love, to bring this transformation into action and into words you speak. At night, give thanks for the illumination you have found. Know that the form of your intent leads you to the power of transformation. It's so pretty. This painting is entitled Transformation. The pond represents the serenity of your unconscious mind and the rebirth of awareness in the West. The steps of the north of the painting lead to a sacred place of prayer and worship of the Great Spirit. Find a sacred sanctuary within the universe of your soul. The lotus blossoms represents your transformation beginning to bloom, and the doves of peace take the messages in your heart to the Great Spirit. Another West black one. This guy here goes like that. The painting is entitled The Celestial Dream. It represents the feminine power of the earth. Dreams from the unconscious flow out of the woman's head and into daily reality. The lotus and the butterfly symbolize transcendence into higher consciousness. The universe at the bottom of the waterfall represents the spheres of your spirit and the life of consciousness within your being and within your sacred dream. Have the courage to manifest your dreams in your life. This is a card to the West because dreaming, transformation, death, and rebirth are part of your West training. The flow of the waterfall represents the energy of your dreams as they flow through your life and transform you. This one is called Perfection. It's really pretty. I like it. Perfection. But I have a thing for feathers, so that's kind of probably also why I love it. Dream your passion. Fly away, go through the hoop of your innermost fears and desires, meet them and conquer them. What pain from childhood have you not dealt with? Move into the wound of your most sacred fears and find the seeds of wisdom that are planted there. Face what upsets you the most. It is a great teacher. Give away whatever is holding you back, insecurities, ego, fear of failure, or not being loved. Fear of being alone and being reborn into a new state of perfection. Definition of this card, the painting is entitled Joyful Rebirth. An ego feather tied to a branch is the eternal gateway of a human's fourth-legged creatures. The winged ones on the planet Earth, to find perfection. We must give away what is holding us to this earthly plane. We must give away our addictions, the blocks that keep us from perfection. To reach perfection, we must move into the universes that live within our own souls. Introspection is a teaching of the West. We must find the universal consciousness symbolized by the sphere in the sky that resides within our own unconsciousness. Shamans call the process moving into the wound of our deepest fears and finding the seeds of wisdom that are planted there. Grow from this knowledge into a state of perfection. West is black. Perfection of that one. This one I wasn't too sure about, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to go like that. I had it like this originally, which it could be like that too. but I'm thinking this is the winner. I'll read what it says and then we can determine if I'm right. Need some more water. Ooh, so this one is mystery. It's suiting. It's a mystery of which direction's up. So, it says, a shaman can teach you about power. A magician can train you to become strong in spirit and competent in your endeavors in life. But to describe how a miracle happens or how you come to be a powerful magician is to try to explain the mystery. You can talk around the secrets of power, but if you describe them directly, you lose that power and you destroy the mystery. Welcome the mystery. And allow the miracle of existence to emerge from the darkness and transform you. Definition of this card. The painting is entitled Emerging. Which kind of does look like it's emerging from the darkness. You emerge into the mysteries of power and the magic through your own intent. Mystery is a West card because it deals with introspection, death, and transformation into a new life, a new vision, a new way of seeing reality. The universe is shown here within the cave of the unconscious mind. True consciousness comes through an emerging from the darkness of your untold selves into the light of balance and harmony between the conscious mind and the conscious mystery. There you go. This goes up. We got the sad. Kind of looks like a Buddha man, but I'm not sure where. Sad man. Which makes sense. This one is entitled Grief. For grief deepens you. It allows you to explore the parameters of your soul. Grief is the only gateway to certain levels of consciousness, and it is a hard taskmaster. Through grief, you can explore every aspect of your dark side. Anger, pain, abandonment, terror, loneliness. These are some of the aspects of the sacred wound that in our daily lives we usually try to ignore. So I know through my journey, kind of going off a little bit, but on my journey, it's important to go into those things in order to release them instead of burying them. If you bury them, they're gonna bubble all up, and cause all sorts of havoc in your life. So anyways, I'll get back on task here. Lost my spot. Grief forces you to look at those parts of yourselves that you have not yet healed. If you can look at grief as a teaching, you will grow. The pain of grief is not the only teacher in this life, but if looked at properly with awareness and an open heart, it is one of the greatest teachers of all. The seeds of wisdom and enlightenment are planted within the wounds of grief. What is lost can come back to us again in higher ways. It feels good. Definition of this card. The painting is entitled First Noble Truth. So much of life involves suffering and loss, but great strength is brought to us through grief. You can choose to learn from the experience and remain soft and kind, or you can choose to become hardened and cynical. Do not miss the lessons that you are here to discover even in grief. This weeping Buddha, the symbol of... I was right, it is a Buddha man. Sorry. Okay. This weeping Buddha, the symbol of the shaman going deep within himself into the depths of his grief, holds grief in his hands before he picks a rose. The rose sits upon a stone altar on a bed of seaweed at the shore. The tide has gone out, and symbolizing the elimination of desire, final transcendence is at hand. The rose is one of peace and the understanding that sadness and grief are only one side of a double-edged sword. The other side is peace, joy, tranquility, and understanding that we are all one. This is a teaching of the West because grief takes us into deep reflective thought, delving into our unconscious life to find the strength to transcend. In every death, there is a rebirth and transformation. This also allows for reflective thought. Do not be afraid to learn the lessons that are to be found within grief. Deep. Another black card. That guy's upside down. There we go. This one is harmony. Harmony lives in the lodge of balance and involves equilibrium between the physical and spiritual aspects of your life. For there to be harmony, there must be balance. Imagine yourself as the hub of a sacred wheel standing in the center. This wheel must function every day of your life. If you imagine that the south is your physical self, the west your emotional self, and the north your spiritual self, and the east your mental self, then you will see that you stand in the ancient wheel of truth, the center. Consider whether you spend as much time in the physical, the south, as you do in the spiritual, the north. Are you balanced? Are you in harmony? Reflect on whether you spend more time in your emotions, the west, or in your mind, the east. Adjust your daily life by being aware of your actions and behaviors, patterns to incorporate equal effort in all the directions, so that your wheel will function in perfect harmony. Pretty cool. This painting is entitled Sunrises in Eternal Palaces. The painting symbolizes you sitting in the sanctuary of your truth and harmony. Surrounding you are the snowy mountains of your higher consciousness. You are perfectly balanced between the planes of higher universal consciousness and earthly consciousness as symbolized by the globe. Harmony is a West card because you must always reflect to find your truth, which is one of the greatest teachings of the West. You must always reflect on how balanced you are among all aspects of your nature. West black, this guy here, ecstasy, looks blissful. Ecstasy is a buoyant state of joy. One of the finest ways to maintain a state of joyousness is to examine the dark side of your being, that instinctual nature that most human beings repress in civilized life. Within your instinctual nature are the seeds of ecstasy. We tend to live in our minds and in our emotions, occasionally in spirit, and almost never in our instinctual depths. We are born as wild as mountains. Lions. Oh, I think it was supposed to be mountain lions. I thought, ooh, mountains are wild. My bad. We were born as wild as mountain lions, but live most of our lives like sheep, forgetting and denying whole parts of ourselves. Sit on the earth with your back against a tree and get in touch with your roots, which move deep into the Middle Earth. This will restore your joyousness and balance. Each day, listen to your body, mind, and heart and what they are telling you about giving any situation. Ecstasy is like a wind horse, waiting to be ridden. The last wild ride before your passage into enlightenment. Take courage and live your passion in ecstasy. The definition of this card: the painting is entitled Rapture. In the painting, ecstatic femininity is a symbol of rapture. It shows that these stones are really alive, that nature is really alive. True ecstasy is reached when we understand that we are part of every living thing. that the sphere and the universal knowledge is within our own process. We have already found our way home. We are already enlightened. We just don't realize it. Ecstasy is in the West because we must not be afraid to move into the ecstatic emotions that are found within us. Do not be afraid to live in ecstasy. I like that card. And it kind of looked like waterfalls. You know I love my waterfalls. That one's actually the right way up. Silence. Number 22. Before making a decision of power, move into that place of silence and serenity, deep within you. Sit anywhere, close your eyes, and follow your breath in and out. In and out. I'm probably actually doing it the wrong way. It should be in and out. In and out. Okay. On the third inhalation, take your breath down into your belly, way down deep to the bottom of your belly. Locate your place of power just below your navel. Visualize your place of power holding the golden sun, a beautiful disk of radiant brilliance within you. Observe the silence like a deer in a meadow. If you're in pain, use your consciousness to find where the pain lives in your body. Then move into that pain and beyond it until you find the source of silence. It is in this silence lives your sacred witness, that which sees all and knows all and is all that you are. Power is born within silence. This painting is entitled Magical Apprentice. Right? Magical Appearance. Silence is so very unfamiliar because we distract ourselves from it, feeling terrified by the simplicity and the stillness of our own being, like a deer standing in the marshland of awe of a magical appearance of beauty. We stand in awe of the magic of life. Because we do not understand it, we are terrified of it and often try to destroy it. Within your silence are the teachings of the West. Accept that you do not understand and have the courage to explore the mysteries of life. Move into the silent places within you. Find the ecstasy that is your true nature. You are the silence. Sorry, we'll take it up. Silence. Opens upside down too. Well, yeah. Reflections on the bottom. Come up to that one. There we go. This one's Intuition. The painting is entitled Sanctuary. Intuition is a process found of introspection which lives in the West, as shown by the portal of entrance into the other worlds deep beneath. The earth. This painting symbolizes the hidden universe within. The innocence of the deer, the monk, symbolizes our own spiritual being, and the sphere of universal knowledge. Intimate, that we all are one. As above, so below. Intuition is a receptive power that leads you to your understanding of Mother Earth. The gateway of healing her and bringing magic into your life is intuition. Now we're on to white. So that one was the West black. Now we're on to white, which is the north. Freezing ice in the north. This one, the painting is entitled Wind Horses. Wind horses gallop across the beach of our deepest unconscious, symbolizing the importance of force in our path towards power and enlightenment. Force comes from your will, which lives in your shaman's center and has the power of strength of wild horses at full gallop. The wind horse is an ancient symbol for the state of buoyant joy just before the apprentice enters the plane of enlightenment. Force is a higher strength needed to endure the trials of consciousness and test the power of the north. Force lives in your will and comes from your intent. Life is the process of pulling back your bow, aiming your arrow, choosing a target, and shooting. The degree and quality of the force with which you choose your target and shoot determine your power of your success. Force is built through your integrity of purpose, your physical tuning, and your balance of spirit and mind. By naming your act of power, you create force. Follow your innermost passions in life. Empower your will and your strength by force, by manifesting your secret dreams. I like that one. And such pretty horses. That's a cool picture. We got a Buddha man. A snow Buddha man. This one's called Impeccability. And I love my spirals too. And the cranes. So, move into that place of perfection within you. That place of truth, responsibility, competence, and intuition. Collect your discipline like a Buddha meditating in a in a garden of snow. Impeccability is an area of strength that continues to flame within, maintaining your power and intent. This flame burns into your center, indicating the level of capabilities of your effectiveness in bringing events into being. Impeccability is tended by the attentions of your sacred witness, that person within you who observes the target. Gather your power with impeccability, with the intensity of a rubber band pulled and held at its breaking point. Gather your intent and focus on your impeccability for the job about to be done. This painting is entitled The Bright Dance. This is a painting of a snow Buddha showing the centered shaman spirit within the stillness of a winter garden. The birds signify the innocence of the sacred spiral within life, and the stones represent the wisdom of the ancient memory of all life that is retained within the earth. Impeccability implies male action in the world, but before then, there can be movement outwards as an explosion into the world. There has to be an impeccable feminine receptivity and stillness within one's being. Then there is true power and intuition within the warrior. Impeccability is of the north. Hibernation and winter imply a time of gathering and going within, a time of letting go of what you need, what you do not need, so that you can be unhampered and in an impeccable warrior spirit. It's a nice way of saying it, hey? North White. This was the one that got pulled earlier. So, gathering. This life is like a fulcrum on a scale of balance. Your past and future lives determine the need of gathering strength in this life. And I had already read it earlier, so we're going to leave the rest of it. But there you go, if you want to pause it and read it. This one's pretty. Buddha in the trees. This one is strength, number 27. The person who upsets you the most in this life is one of your best teachers. If that person can get inside your head and turn you around and confuse you, you know that you still don't understand what you are doing. You need more strength. I'm going to be right back. Sorry about that, folks. The doggo needed to go outside. We don't really want him peeing inside the house, so let him out. Like my little mermaid Ben. Okay, so back to this guy. The trees. I'll just start over. North White. The person who upsets you the most in your life is one of your best teachers. If that person can get inside your head, turn you around, and confuse you, you know that you still don't understand what you are doing. You need more strength. Learn by seeing what your life is teaching you. Like the red lotus, healing its pain in an inner solitude gains strength from entering your wounds and learn from them. The magician remembers the trail and takes a different one, even if it's more difficult. In this way, you build strength. And this painting is entitled Unfold in Light. It depicts a dense forest and a sacred being, a Buddha healing his pain within the solitude of inner and outer wilderness. The red lotus represents the pain in the world being healed through transformation from the material into the higher realms of consciousness. Inner strength is found through deep inner search and meditation, particularly in times of transition. In the shaman tradition, we move into the pain that we'll experience in life to find the possibilities for learning and growth that are hidden there. When you experience your pain in all its aspects, you can then move through the pain and emerge on the other side as a much more powerful and strengthened person. This is a North card, dealing with strength, wisdom, and spirit. By balancing your physical life with your spiritual life, you will find the strength necessary to evolve. Almost rocked the boat again, folks. Strength. Centering. There we go. Centering. Never leave your center. Good advice. Sometimes hard to do. It says, count your bad points as well as your good. What is good and what is bad are most often purely relative. If you sense a weakness within yourself, explore it. It may become the source of your greatest strength. As you sit like a sacred Buddha amid the pandemonium of your life, always remember that the situation or person who has the ability to upset you the most, to pull you off of center, is your greatest teacher in the process of centering. Such negativity can become your addiction. Center yourself in your power and release your need for constant distraction from your center. Definition of the card. The painting is entitled The American Buddha. Centering is one of the most important aspects of your training on your path to power. If you do not live in your center, you live in the perimeter of power, never inside the world of power. The Buddha, imagine, recurs. Do that again. The Buddha image recurs quite often in these cards. To the shaman, the Buddha signifies the higher self, the self that has grown out of the worldly distractions. The fact that the Buddha is sitting in meditation in the center of a busy city implies that you ascend to the world of spirit and the higher self through centering and meditation and focusing on your inner world. There is a city of activity around each of us, and around this Buddha there is much assault on the senses. Yeah, it'd be hard to do. I've done it in the past when I was walking through the grass, meditated, and it was soft and cozy and awesome. And then when I wasn't paying attention walking through the grass, it got all pokey and hard and awful smells. It's kind of funny. So it is good to practice. Anyway, back to the cards. Stay on focus. By By focusing on your inner self and staying centered, you can transcend the daily distractions and not be attached to them. Simply witness them as they whirl around you. Centering is a North card because it takes strength and wisdom to stay centered through the various tests of power. Looking at your problems as tests of power will help you to understand the teachings of the North. Another North white card. I think that one's the right way. Could be either direction, but we're gonna stick with that one. It's got the cute little lizard and the flowers and the spirals. This one is enduring. Take a stone in your hand and meditate on it, and to use the stone's surface pictured on the card. Go into the stone, experience her quiet soul. The stone welcomes your visit. Let her experience the inside of your heart. See how you are, each an enduring mirror of the other. You are everywhere, mirroring everything. The stone absorbs you, and you absorb the stone. How can you be alone if you are a part of everything? You are the totality of during existence. Therefore, nothing in existence can upset you. The painting is entitled Ancient Memories. The stones represent the material world, and the flowers represent your inner soul and spirit. The salamander represents transformation into higher being through the vortex of energy centered by the sacred spirals of life. Stones teach us patience and enduring courage. Stones are the great storytellers. I do love my stones. They were here before us, and they know the laws of the land. They are the teachers of the silence. If you can become like a stone, you will experience the silence of the stones, and then the flower of your spirit will brighten into full bloom with patience and enduring grace. Enduring is a North card because it teaches strength and wisdom in the process of patience. It is the patience and endurance that we understand time and the use of power. Without endurance and patience, your timing is never correct and your power is lost. So essentially, to take back your power, give yourself patience and endurance. There we go. Kind of looks like trees, but those look like fishies. Fishies in a forest with some mountains. This one talks about courage. Let's see what else it has to say. The painting is entitled Where Heart and Spirit Travel. It portrays an idea beyond what is usually experienced. The two fish swimming out of water through a forest are symbols of the transcendent spirit. They could be your transcendent spirit moving down the path towards the high. The Himalayas in the distance towards higher consciousness. It takes courage to walk this path and to go beyond the boundaries of your ideas and imagination. Do not be limited by your belief systems. Courage is a teaching of the North and a teaching of spirit on the path to power. It says action takes courage. We often feel like a fish out of water, separate and different from the world around us. Fish out of water can learn to swim in a new air of consciousness with new purpose of life. Perhaps it is the identification with objects and clinging to addictions that keeps you feeling separate and keeps you from finding the source of your power. Not only dependence on drugs, sex, and alcohol, but also addictions like fear and failure, the need for approval or fear of desertion. Discover your own power and meaning by having the courage to give up your addictions, then live your power with courage. one looks serious. It's individuality. When the shield carrier reaches the top of the mountain, I don't know if that's right. Let's see. 31. Yeah. Okay, we'll keep going. I just get fluffled because I didn't see a mountain. All this time, I don't think I've ever pulled this card. 20 years of having this deck. Funny, hey? Good thing we're going through it today. Okay, this is another North White. When the shield carrier reaches the top of the mountain, she never seeks approval, because approval is based on doubt. Your strength and wisdom are celebrated in your unique ability to view the experience of your life with new vision. Power lies in the individuality of the ability to see yourself through your own eyes and through the eyes of another. To be in power, you must take your power and exist within your own individuality. Definition of this card. The painting is entitled Meeting the Members of the Board. People are so stuck in their ruts of everyday life that anyone with unusual ideas cannot be accepted. The Native American chieftain is full of ceremonial dress, is considered a freak in this civilized setting in which the men are speaking of architecture and building a city. What the board members don't understand is that the chieftain is a great individual in his own culture, and he might have the answers to survival that all of us need and so many of us are afraid to hear. We are afraid because the answers may come out of the unknown, out of something that is unfamiliar to us, because it is unfamiliar and we do not understand it. Therefore, we feel the need to destroy it. That is our tragedy. To be in power, you must first be an individual. This is a true North card because individuality takes strength and wisdom, the teachings of the North. Oh, there's a headdress guy in there. That way? That one's going to be that way too, so we might as well put it up that way. Okay. Wisdom. If you're always addicted to the process of becoming, there are storms on your horizon. This is because suddenly there is nothing left to become. You are filled with terror. Suddenly you are face to face with your own empty being. Find the sacred space and sanctuary of pleasant stillness in your heart. To know that you are truly alone is the first step of the long journey of self-discovery on the path to power. The final step is to learn that you are linked with the universe, that you have already become a part of everything and already live in all the lodges of the universe. This is wisdom. The painting is entitled The Quiet Garden. It symbolizes the birth of the universe into a sacred space. The sacred space is represented by the pagoda and the snow-covered rocks. The mountains and the snow symbolize the stillness of the higher consciousness. The stones beneath them represent the wisdom of all the ages. Wisdom is found in the balance between universal knowledge and the sanctuary of knowledge that is learned through our harmony and struggle on Mother Earth. Wisdom is a teaching of the spirit of the North. And then this one is aspiration. It's kind of cute, the little deer and the Buddha. Buddha head. Aspiration stimulates power. If your aim is spiritual, it is your aim, spirituality, and physically in the world, and involves the totality of your being. Without the balance between the physical and the spiritual, aspiration is a hollow accomplishment. It is like a spirit lodge at the dance, of which your ceremonies and rituals. But the spirit lodge must have a strong foundation of capability, trust of those around you, and responsibility. Aspiration is what builds the spirit lodge of power. It is the architect of your accomplishments. And it sits at the feet of the power as the deer stands before the remnants of an ancient and powerful civilization. Keep your heart open, kind and loving, so that the energy of the universe can move freely through you. It is difficult to aspire without judgment, but judgment limits you and puts a fence around your consciousness. Give much consideration to all your choices in life and a free flow to your process of aspiration. The painting is entitled Eternity's Breath. It symbolizes a movement in time. The deer is in his innocence, in his quiet aspirations for life, is standing in the wilderness in front of an Olmec carving. The Olmec head symbolizes the ancient dreams of death and rebirth, past civilizations, meeting with the immediacy of current life, and the wildness of spirit and the purity of nature. Aspirations revolve around the eternal struggle for strength and wisdom that are part of the North. So cute. It's a seashell. Love the seashells. The painting is entitled Silent Sound. The magnificent shell coming up out of the depths of the ocean or the unconscious symbolizes the spiraling predominal power rising out of the depths of the consciousness and into the reality of the conscious mind. The snowy mountains represent higher consciousness of the horizon, and the sphere of the sky represents universal knowledge. In order to have true focus in your life, you need to have balance between the conscious and the unconsciousness minds. For focus to endure, you need strength and wisdom, which are North teachings. Much of what you see in life is an agreement that something is in fact true. To develop power, focus on one aspect of your life. This could be your career, a sport, or some endeavor that you have a passion about. Become an expert. In the process of becoming an expert, you fine-tune your whole being. You collect the important parts of yourself and you begin to live the life of a warrior. Rid yourself of attitudes that are not essential to your task. Collect your energy and focus your power on wondrous magical acts. Let the shell of your consciousness rise out of the ocean of your subconscious mind. It is a matter of focus. Now, on to the east. The land of the east. I don't know which way that one's supposed to go. It's pretty cool though. I think it could go either way. Got the owls in there. Time. What is time? That it has such power to change all that exists back into dust. What is the unforeseen force, like the wind, that can shape the land and our lives? Learn to play with time. Time is surreal, like the fish swimming in the treetops. Oh, are those fish? I thought they were owls. Oh, yeah, upon closer look, that just shows sometimes you see what you want to see. It's definitely fishies. Comical. Well, I was definitely wrong with that one. So onto the fish. A person of power knows how to arrange time. Put on your watch and be aware of the time at which you do everything. Watch the sun, the moon, the transit of the stars. Find out the time that Venus is lowest in the sky before the dawn. Be aware of your cycles. When you get hungry, when you go to sleep, our society is obsessed with time. So, now becoming time, if you're obsessed with something, it is better to explore it than to deny it. Then it is possibly Then it is possible to give up your obsession with it and let a concept like time take its proper place in your life. Your power depends on your use of time. The painting is entitled Journey's End. The symbolism of fish in the treetops indicates the importance of the tree of life and the knowledge wherein that we are indeed all one. This is a teaching of the East. The Piscean era is symbolized by the fish, and it means that we are coming to the end of a period and we are giving birth to a new eon. Within this new birth, all possibilities are at hand. Take your power now and try to understand what time really means to you on your path of heart. Do not waste your time. You only have a moment in this lifetime. On the other hand, you must have patience in order to create perfect timing. Thank you to the fish. And now we are on to the Yellow East. That one really looks like Stonehenge. Magic. If you do not believe in magic, your life will not be magical. Magic, like the power of Stonehenge, is part of the unknowable, that which you cannot describe, but which exists. It makes your life extraordinary. It is part of the goodness of your spirit. It is the mysterious and intriguing parts of your spiritual life. The magic is what we are all looking for. But if you try to hold it and name it and describe it, you will lose it. You must talk around magic, describe what led you there, and give thanks for that part of the universe that it is unknowable and full of color and strength and magic. Out of the relationship comes magic. Out of the friction of forgetting and remembering comes magic. Out of the mists of the dawn and the mysteries of creation comes magic that we all call life. Out of your passion for existence comes magic. The painting is entitled Ancient Astronomers. To have power in your life, you must take power. Power is never just given to you. Stonehenge is an ancient sanctuary and sacred circle of monoliths. The monoliths were carefully assembled to draw up the power of the universe that is within the earth, as symbolized by the spheres and the explosion of eternity beneath the circles. What is in your universe above you is in the earth below you. To understand magic and illumination in the East, you must place yourself standing in your power as an antenna. Bring down the energy and power of the universe and bring up the energy and power that resides within the earth. You stand as a mediator between the two sources of power. This is how magic begins in your life. Pretty cool. Love it. East yellow. And they're down. There we go. The Buddha, the flower, and the eagle. So pretty. Illumination, folks. The painting is entitled Liberation. As darkness comes, the mirrors of your spirit reflect different images. It is the time when the world changes and your being begins to glow. Reflect on the new vision that has been living in the perimeter of your consciousness. An idea is stalking you and awaits your invitation, a place within you to begin life. The totality of your creativity comes after you have begun your work on the sacred paintings of your life. It is then that the muses of inspiration surround you like eagles and cheer you on with illumination. Take responsibility for your work and your life, and then illumination will follow. Definition card. That's where I said it was entitled Liberation. It portrays the liberation of the spirit. The glow around your body is the astral field of energy. The flower symbolizes enlightenment of the spirit, encased within the magnificent face that is the physical body. This painting depicts illumination in the earthly realm, with the sphere of the universe behind, and around the entire form, denoting higher consciousness. The eagle of the east is the messenger of the earthly spirit of the Great Spirit. So pretty. Let's see how much I got these out of order. Oh, there we go. That one is saying that life is like school. We move through it, learning many different things, cloaking ourselves in environmental knowledge. You are the warrior's path towards enlightenment. You must one day peel away the accumulated knowledge like layers of an onion and move back into the source of your power. When contemplating a Zen garden, you find that the source of your power is the essence of the Great Spirit. We come onto the earth walk like a giant piece of smashed mirror, every one of us reflecting the light of our God. The experience of life is a process of piercing together these scrambled fragments into one great mandala, reflecting the one source of all being. Like the center of a cyclone, we sit at the one point of stillness, the pandemonium of life circulating madly around us. Choose equilibrium, not frenzy. Live life from your center. The essence of you and the essence of the primal moving force of the universe are one. This painting is entitled Silent Garden. The stones in the Zen garden represents the memory of the ancient life process and experience, and therefore stepping stones to our own personal experience. The sphere represents higher and universal consciousness. The Zen garden promotes the process of reflection upon the outer essences of all life and the inner essentials of our existence as human beings. If you do not understand your essence, you have no power. Do not try to develop force, intent, and abilities without first understanding the primal qualities and wisdom of your essence. Essence is the East because the process of discovering your essence involves illumination. The Zen garden, essence. This one's pretty cute. Love the lotus flower. Some waterfowl in there too. Destiny. Another East yellow card. Your active power is the key to your destiny, like a sacred flute player enticing your truth of spirit out into the light of day. Own your power because you are made of power. An active power comes from a place of passion within your deepest being. It is an expression of your totality, of who you are in the world. To find your active power is to live your dreams. What would you do if you could do anything? Discover what that is, and then do it. To find your power is to find your destiny. The painting is entitled The Source. It is about the source of destiny, about the birthing of the spirit dimension into the phenomenal world, as symbolized by the stone and the petroglyph of the sacred Kokopelli, the hunchbacked flute player. It's supposed to bring fertility. It's not written in here. That's just my brain. The flute player uses sacred sound to coax your spirit into physical manifestation. The lotus blossom symbolizes the birth into your spiritual nature, your true destiny. This is an endeavor of the East because destiny, when found, exemplifies your illumination. Like this guy. That one looks like it too. It's supposed to go that way. That looks right. Looks like a crystal in a temple. This one is creativity. Your creativity is like a story. It needs a voice, a way to be heard in the world. Creativity has moved into your hut. This must be what the hut looks like. Creativity is part of your future life. People think that creativity is like stories, that it is outside of them, like truth or power, but it inhabits you like your own life force and emanates your being. Creativity is within your crystal palace of your mind. You are about to go on a long journey. It is called your life. You will learn to heal the evil forces of darkness. You are a warrior in the fight against ignorance. The dark sorcerers in life are created within each of us when we live a life of unexpressed creativity, when we live someone else's truth, not our own.